This is CTV News with Nafisa Karim.
But they've just saved my life, my dog's life, my sheep's life. I am just blown away right this minute. I've never seen it not start to go down. Like it just kept rising and rising and rising. My sheep were up to there.
Tonight, a harrowing escape. A woman and her animals pulled from rising floodwaters in the Comox Valley.
We are aware of everything that is going on in the country right now, and so we are doing this in an effort to try to help prevent some hearts from hardening.
Showing love for their neighbors, a small American town extending an olive branch to Canadians amid political tensions. Plus, Adam finds out how a Star Wars superfan and a woman who couldn't care less about it were inspired by the force of love. Later on the Sawatsky sign-off. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. We begin tonight in a community in crisis. A state of emergency has been declared in the Comox Valley, where heavy rains have caused widespread flooding. Highways have been washed out, vehicles submerged, and homes hit by waves of water. We start our coverage with a woman trapped in her home as the water started to rise. CTV's Andy Garland has the story.
Filled with emotion and thankful to be on solid ground.
Oh my God, they've just saved my life, my dog's life, my sheep's life.
Stranded homeowners on Headquarters Road in the Comox Valley had to be rescued from fast rising floodwaters.
I've never seen it not start to go down. Like it just kept rising and rising and rising. My sheep were up to their shoulders in the barn, and these guys went and got them. I'm just so blown away.
Members of the Comox Valley Search and Rescue were also tasked with carrying 4 sheep through waist-high floodwaters.
First time for sheep. We've had a couple of horses and seen lots of dog rescues, but first time for sheep.
The scared farm animals were corralled into a neighbor's pen.
I've got 3 sheep behind, but on the back of the barn there, it's a higher ground too.
This wasn't the only search and rescue in the valley due to floodwaters.
We have another team that's working in the Punnage River for a reported person in the river there in downtown Courtenay area.
The cause of this flooding? Experts say a spat of warm temperatures meant alpine runoff meet days of heavy rain.
There's been a lot of rain in the valley, and as a result, probably snow melt, high tides, all of that.
I've lived here 15 years and I've gone through a lot of floods, but not one like this.
At least one other person was rescued, and search teams were going door to door, checking on others.
Oh my God, you guys are amazing.
But for so many others, this emergency is far from over. Andy Garland, CTV News, Comox Valley.
The BC River Forecast Centre has Solemn River near Courtenay and Dove Creek near the mouth under flood warnings tonight. Elsewhere, the Ash River below Morin Creek, the Somas River and Sprout River near Alberni, and the Englishman River near Parksville are all under flood watches. The rest of the island is under a high stream flow advisory. And late this afternoon, an evacuation order has been put in place for the Maple Pool campground. Footage from the campground shows water rushing alongside RVs and structures. 3 properties along Stephen Road and 9 properties along Headquarters Road are also being asked to evacuate. An emergency response center has been set up at the Comox Valley Regional District and resources sent to hard-hit areas. Meantime, this video from an island helicopter company shows a washout on Highway 28. That road connects Campbell River to Gold River and Tassis. Drive BC says the road is closed and essentially cuts off road access to those communities. In Campbell River, several cars were stranded after the water got the best of drivers. And Josh Klassen will be here later with a look at the rain in the forecast for the next few days. Now to the ongoing struggles faced by mill communities up and down Vancouver Island. As of now, 6 mills have announced permanent closures, with 6 more being hit with either indefinite or temporary closures. Here's CTV's Brendan Strain.
BC's forest sector is at a breaking point.
It's been absolutely devastating for our community.
Recently, North Cowichan has been ground zero. In December, the Crofton Pulp Mill announced it would be permanently closing, shedding 350 jobs. This week, the Shemana Sawmill announced it will curtail its operation through 2026.
That's impacting another 120 workers and their families. And those workers have been off the job since last summer when the curtailment began.
On Vancouver Island, 2 mills are under an indefinite closure. 4 are under a temporary closure. and 6 have permanently closed.
It is the perfect storm.
BC's forest minister points to a slumping U.S. housing market, as well as low lumber prices paired with duties and tariffs put on our exports from our largest trading partner south of the border. Parmar says the province is working to diversify its trading partners in order to find new markets, as well as looking to revamp how timber is harvested in a more timely manner.
I want to make real progress on moving us away from cutting permit by cutting permit forestry to operational plan forestry.
That would provide a long-term plan for harvests, avoiding companies from applying for ongoing permits for individual cut blocks, which the minister hopes will give the companies certainty to invest in the sector.
The ability to harvest timber is driven by the ability to make things of value that support the demand for it.
This associate professor at the Faculty of Forests at UBC says the industry has been in crisis for a long time, comparing it to a dog chasing its tail. Mills have been disappearing, creating less demand for harvests, and there seems to be a lack of willingness to harvest our most plentiful species on the island, hemlock and balsam.
Necessity is the mother of invention, and that's part of figuring out how to get the value from it that makes everything else work. Having that right capital and that right idea.
At the Crofton Mill, there are just weeks left of work for 350 employees. The soon-to-be latest victim of an industry, experts say, needs real leadership now. Brendan Strain, CTV News, Victoria.
Port Angeles threw quite the party for Canadian travelers last February, and this year it's planning on a repeat. As CTV's Anna McMillan shows us, the goal is to prevent people's hearts from hardening as tension between Canada and the United States remains high.
Port Angeles is extending a party invite to Canadians with a caveat. You don't have to come, but if you do, you'll be welcomed with open arms and a double-double.
The point of this thing is not to be soliciting Canadians to come south right now. Absolutely not. It is about demonstrating our affection for our neighbors to the north.
On February 19th, the small American city is hosting a repeat of last year's greeting party for Canadians coming off the Coho Ferry. They're calling it Port Angeles Loves Canada 2.0.
We're doing this in an effort to humanize a little bit ourselves, right? You're watching news stories play out, the narratives that are playing. I don't feel represented in those narratives. I am disgusted and outraged with what is happening, right?
Last year, Canadians stopped traveling to the United States en masse, following U.S. President Donald Trump's jibes about making Canada the 51st state.
I think it's getting worse. Each and every day, something new happens.
In recent weeks, the world has watched the U.S. threaten Greenland and pluck Venezuela's president from his country. They've also seen myriad tariff threats and 2 American citizens killed by ICE agents.
Definitely, it's having an effect.
That Canadian travel insurance broker lives part-time in Florida. He says snowbirds are still traveling to their American properties, but he's seen far fewer people at tourist hotspots.
You can't pinpoint if it's strictly the anti-U.S. sentiment or it's the low Canadian dollar, or it's a combination of the two. And I lean towards a combination of the two.
Data from Environics Analytics says at the end of 2025, domestic travel in Canada was up 9% compared to the year prior, an increase of 6.9 million trips.
Unfortunately, the relationship with Canada has become a partisan talking point, which for a border community, it seems unreal.
He says Port Angeles did okay last year by shifting its marketing focus to domestic tourism. It's also encouraging Americans to go to Vancouver Island.
This isn't about money. This is about hearts and minds. This is about the relationship between 2 communities.
He says the invite will still be open if Canadians want to wait until Trump is out of office. Anna McMillan, CTV News.
A BC man has received top honors by Canadian Geographic for his keen eye behind the lens. Anthony Bucci of Port McNeill has been named Canadian Geographic Photographer of the Year. Bucci is a longtime contributor to the magazine's Photo Club and was chosen from over 7,000 entries.
He just sits there and absorbs the scene and waits for the right moment to get the image that he really wants. And that's the artistry of photography. And he just exemplified that with his work submitted to the competition this year.
Other BC winners include Eli Wolpin from Vancouver in the Flora, Fauna and Fungi category for his photo of shrimp in Howe Sound, and Ash Boykin from Rossland won in the Epic Landscapes category for his shot of the Purcell Mountains at sunset. Work will begin next week on building a fence along Highway 1 in Duncan to stop pedestrians from crossing the highway. The 1.8-meter high fence will run for 700 meters, and it's meant to deter pedestrians and high school students from the Coetson Secondary School from crossing between intersections. It'll run between Beverly Street and James Street. The project includes 2 continuous landscape medians and will permanently close all remaining left turn bays. Work on the $2.5 million project will mostly take place at night starting February 1st, finishing late spring. Well, if camping is part of your summer vacation plans, you could be paying more this year, depending on where you stay. BC Parks is raising rates at 59 high-demand front country camping spots and 4 backcountry parks. The increase is just over $13 per night and will start June 15th. The ministry says this is the first increase in fees in a decade. Adding, more than 300 other parks won't see any increase at all. BC Parks is also bringing in a camping surcharge from people visiting from outside the province, a new $20 flat fee for camping, cabin rentals, and dock use.
9 degrees in Victoria right now after hitting a high of 10 earlier this afternoon. It'll stay warm but wet this weekend. Not a great forecast considering the high stream flow advisories and the flood watches and warnings in effect. I'll tell you how much rain to expect and where right after the break.
CTV Weather brought to you by Expedia Cruises. Explore the endless possibilities at one of our 36 BC locations. Learn more at expediacruises.ca.
What makes West Shore Parks and Recreation a perfect place to play? It's our staff, working behind the scenes to keep the pool safe, kids engaged, and programs thriving. So apply today and join our team.
Well, Josh joins us now. It's the last thing we want, but it's more rain.
Yeah, and especially out on the West Coast and for some inland areas, this is going to be a couple of waves of pretty significant heavy rain. We'll get to the rainfall totals, or the estimates at least, in a moment here. Warm. Temperatures remaining above average. Second straight day, we're in double digits in Victoria. A little breezy, though, through this afternoon. Seeing some gusts on top of that 22-kilometer-per-hour wind. 10 right now, and 10 is going to go down as the daytime high for today. We get to 11 on Thursday. Still some rain falling in and around the Victoria area and back off to the west. But you can see it has dried out, and we're getting a little bit of clearing, at least for the evening hours tonight in through areas around Nanaimo, Comox, and north. But look at by tomorrow morning, there's more rain that rolls into those areas that are under flood advisories and flood warnings. Of course, the entire island's under a high stream flow advisory. Watch some of these heavier pockets of rain develop as we make our way through Saturday afternoon. Kind of dries out Saturday afternoon in the Victoria area, and then the rain rolls back in. We will see nowhere near as much rain in Victoria as we're going to get in other parts of the island. In fact, out on the West Coast, you're looking at over 50, maybe as much as 80 millimeters of rain by the end of Saturday. Comox, Port Alberni areas, I think this is probably on the low end. Some of the modeling has maybe as much as 30 millimeters worth of rain. You get about 2 in Victoria, and then through the course of the day Sunday, you pick up another 5 to 10 millimeters there. And you're also going to see another wave on Sunday of some showers or periods of rain out on the West Coast. I think on the West Coast, though, it's tomorrow, and then again Monday, Tuesday of next week. They get some really significant rainfall. In fact, Tuesday into Wednesday in the north, you could see close to 100 millimeters worth of rain after some more showers and periods of rain over the next 3 days. So we're back into a really wet pattern here over the course of the next 5 days. Wind gusts in the north as well to go along with the rain. Should be in the 70 to 90 kilometer per hour range. 11 degrees for inland areas, periods of rain. So not steady tomorrow, but periods of rain. Same goes for Sunday. I think it gets a little heavier and steadier on Monday. Out on the West Coast, gusty, heavy rain tomorrow, up to about 14 degrees for a daytime high, and then 10 with that rain sort of tapering off a little bit in intensity on Sunday. It comes back in a big way Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. There are some model estimates pushing 200 to 300 millimeters of rain for parts of the West Coast through Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Rainy, windy in Comox tomorrow, high of about 9. We showed you the rainfall estimates. Looks like somewhere between 15 to maybe as much as 30 millimeters worth of rain. A little bit less than that in Nanaimo, high of 11 tomorrow. Steadiest rain looks like it's going to be tomorrow and then Sunday morning. Kind of tapers off a little bit Sunday afternoon and then rolls back in for Monday. In Victoria, mostly cloudy tomorrow. Few showers, especially in the morning, and then again later in the day, and some early day rain on Sunday with a high of about 10 degrees. CTV Weather is brought to you by Expedia Cruises for air, land, and sea vacations. So not great news for areas under those flood watches and warnings right now, but more rain on the way.
All right, thanks, Josh. A company owned by BC billionaire Jimmy Pattison says it will not be selling a Virginia warehouse to the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, which planned to use the site as an immigration and customs enforcement facility. Jim Pattison Development says in a brief statement the transaction to sell its industrial building in Ashland, Virginia will not be proceeding. Earlier this week, the company said it was not aware of the ultimate owner when it accepted an offer from a U.S. government contractor, which turned out to be ICE, and only became aware of the intended use for the building sometime later. News of the planned sale attracted widespread criticism and calls for a boycott of some of Pattison's companies. Bombardier shares took a nosedive following a new threat from the U.S. president over certification and tariffs. Shares for the Canadian-made aircraft dropped as much as 9% at one point today. CTV's Mike LeCouture has more from Ottawa.
Bombardier's Global 8000 is billed as the world's fastest civil aircraft since the Concorde. But it could be grounded in the U.S. as President Donald Trump targets the Quebec company as apparent retribution over the certification of an American jet in Canada. On Truth Social, Trump wrote the U.S. was decertifying their Bombardier Global Expresses and all aircraft made in Canada until such time as Gulfstream, a great American company, is fully certified. Gulfstream is a direct competitor of Bombardier, and industry experts point out there are reasons Canada has been holding off.
The U.S. has certified the Gulfstream 700 and the 800 with exemptions to look at that aircraft not being certified for very cold weather operations because of fuel line problems.
In response to the threat of decertifying Canadian aircraft, Bombardier said in a statement, thousands of private and civilian jets built in Canada fly in the U.S. every day. We hope this is quickly resolved to avoid a significant impact to air traffic and the flying public. But it remains unclear if the U.S. president even has the authority to decertify aircraft.
The only way that the type certificate can be revoked is if there is a safety issue with the aircraft.
Now, this is just the latest salvo in the ongoing trade war, which has seen Trump ramp up his rhetoric against Canada following the Prime Minister's visit to China.
You can't look at China as the answer.
In a statement about the threat, Minister Steve McKinnon said Transport Canada officials are in communication with their U.S. counterparts, and the Canadian government is actively working on this situation. Mike LeCouture, CTV News, Ottawa.
Coming up, Star Wars love. Adam meets a couple in Colwood with an unlikely love story inspired by a galaxy far, far away. Next on the Sawatsky Sign-Off. Finally, Adam finds out how a Star Wars superfan and a woman who couldn't care less about it were inspired by the force of love on the Sawatsky Sign-Off.
A relatively long time ago,
when I was 9 years old,
in a cinema far from far, far away,
I was front row.
Liam Hudson first fell in love with Star Wars.
I've been enamored ever since.
But it wasn't so simple when he first met a friend of a friend named Alex.
Back then, I knew him only as the Star Wars nerd. I grabbed the lightsaber from him, and he wasn't very happy.
I was stressed.
Because it was a crucial component of the Kylo Ren costume he'd spent countless hours crafting.
I 100% thought she was going to break it.
But Alex didn't, and when she eventually agreed to go on a date with him, Liam didn't really talk about Star Wars.
He's just always been really kind and a lot of fun and really showed an interest in what I like.
So, despite Alex having zero interest in Star Wars, she did the same and agreed to attend a comic convention wearing a costume he custom made for her.
It was amazing. It was perfect. Us together looked like $1 million.
After they moved in together, they topped their Christmas tree with a Death Star, named their cats Chewbacca, Vader, and Obi-Wan Kenobi, and visited the Star Wars section of Disneyland for his 30th birthday. But when it came to wedding planning...
The wedding was pretty normal. I wanted it to be normal.
Now, Liam knew the wedding cake would include a couple characters, but while waiting for his bride to walk down the aisle, Alex surprised him by playing the Star Wars love theme.
The song from Episode 1 where Anakin and Padme are falling in love on Naboo turns on, and I am standing up there looking at Alex come down the aisle. She looks amazing, and my favorite song is playing.
And although Star Wars was his first love, Liam had no doubt why Alex is his forever love.
Is the Force strong within her? Oh yes, it's very strong.
A real-life force of love that's grown to include two boys who may remember the names of more Star Wars characters than farm animals, but will never forget to also wield their force for kindness and caring. Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Colwood.
The Sawatsky Sign-Off, brought to you by Coastal Community Credit Union. Bank happy at Coastal Community Credit Union.
That is it for CTV News Vancouver Island. Thank you so much for joining us. Stay safe out there and have a great weekend.